today. So, Oliver, what do you read into the news here? Is the trade just kind of simmering down here ahead of the cold storage report coming out after the close and that hog and pig report?
Yeah, I think so, and I think you're seeing maybe some position squaring going into that. We've started to kind of curve upwards on the chart, which is nice to see, but the bulls really want to see this 70 handle defended on a closing basis. If we can continue to see that, I think there's room to work higher towards that 75 handle. You know that the funds have been covering some short positions. They bought back about 7,000 contracts last week. Now net short only about 1,000 contracts. So the trend of the funds is starting to be looking to the long side, or at least covering their short position. If we were to get a bearish report here this afternoon, potentially that takes us a little bit lower, but there's pretty good support near that 68 level, and if we can defend 68, that would mark higher lows and maybe keep that near-term trend going of higher highs and higher lows, and maybe spark something good here at the beginning of the new year.
And did you see the new wholesale trade? Let's take a look at the beef cutouts and the pork cutouts at midday. These are from USDA, and by the way, after this afternoon, we're not going to get any new updates until Thursday. Choice cuts on the beef this morning up $2.17, priced at $211.87. Selects up $2.76 at $203.79. That is a big jump there on both of them. On the pork, we have the carcass values gaining $1.63 this morning. Loin values up $1.51. Hams did decline a little less than $1, and the belly's up $4.42 at $97.30. So generally, the wholesale trade in the beef and pork very supportive here today, Oliver.
Very supportive here this morning. We saw a little bit softer open there in the cattle complex. I think a lot of that was on a slightly bearish cattle on feed report. We're kind of worked lower towards the bottom end of the range that we've been in for the last 2 months, 123, 124 for that February contract. That's going to be a key area that the bulls want to defend on a closing basis. If they can do that, I think we continue to kind of chop around, call 123, 124 on the bottom, 126 on the top side, keeping a close eye on cash as well. That's going to be a huge factor. If we start to see cash dip down, potentially that puts a little bit of pressure on those deferred months, that cattle contract. And on the feeder side of things, we basically retraced that big move higher that we had on December 13th. Now we're pulling back 142.85 to about 143 is a big area. That's where we broke out. That also represents the 50% retracement, or basically the middle of the range from the contract highs to contract lows. So it'll be interesting to see if they defend that.
Well, thanks for pointing that out. Good technical points that you shared. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oliver Slope is with Blue Line Futures in Chicago with a look at our livestock trade as it stands right now.
Okay.
Starting to move.
Starting to move.
A little bit.
Might be counterintuitive, this holiday trading
It's very
week.
bouncy today.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that, Marlon, as always.